down there, Ted?
Some duck hunters, it looks like. Well, me and Aaron came out to scout this piece of public this morning before it got daylight, and we were gonna set up if we started finding some good sign, but we're not finding a whole bunch. As we were getting down by the edge of the lake, there's a couple boats that are coming up the channel. We think they just dropped a guy off in the timber to go up, probably to set up a stand and hunt.
There's two of them up there, see their lights?
Yeah. So we're gonna keep creeping in here and try and get away from these other hunters. Somebody must have been set up for a ground and pound setup right here. Brought their best Coleman lawn chair. Well, we're headed back to the truck. It's just breaking daylight here, and we walked around this whole piece and didn't really see much for sign, but so that's kind of what we're doing to start out this trip, is just bouncing around different areas, scouting. And tomorrow's Halloween, and we're supposed to have really good conditions with northerly winds. So that's kind of what we're looking for today, is good spots with good sign for northwest winds. So we're not hitting it very hard right now, as you can tell. But we came in here, and there was very little deer sign in here this morning, and hunters going in not too far from where we were planning on setting up. So we're going to get out of here and go bounce around to a couple different spots and see if we can't get into some good sign. Well, there's a lot of hunters when you're running into hot hands. Might need this tomorrow. Big tracks right here. This is right there. Oh yeah. It's about 9 o'clock, and we just hopped out of the boat. We've been checking a bunch of areas around this lake, and we just came up this drainage, and we were walking up this ridge, and we just keep finding fresh rubs. And we just saw a real big one about 100 yards up from where we're standing. So we don't think we're probably going to push any further. So we're going to mark this spot on Onyx and back out of here. This spot should be pretty good in the next couple days.
There's a rub right here, about 10 yards. There's another one up there at 20 yards. And there's a real big rub right up through those trees, about 60 yards away. And the boat is back down here behind us, back down that drainage.
Heading back towards the boat ramp. We're going to check one more spot, and Aaron spotted a buck with a doe, so we swung around on the boat, and we're going to pull up here and try and cut him off.
Ted and I are in pursuit of this buck. It's with that doe along the edge of the lake down there. While we were cruising by in the boat, I marked that buck's exact location on Onyx. so that we don't get turned around. A lot of times when you spot one from the road or from the boat or whatever, and you try to go in there and stalk them, you lose track of where they were at because you're coming in from a different direction. So I marked him real quick, and now we're moving around on him right now. Thick bedding right here in front of you. This thing's real fresh too. Look at that. Look at this scrape right here. They're in here. I think we got to go up that way, Ted.
Yeah, up and around.
This way. Probably only 70 yards from us right now if he's in the same spot.
Yeah.
He's going up the hill in the woods right there, 40 yards.
No, I don't see him. See him?
Yeah.
That dead tree? Oh, yeah. He's not. We just kept coming up this edge. Couldn't see him. Kept working up. And then Aaron's like, oh, right there. 40 yards straight downwind pretty much. He must have caught our wind and then just kind of headed up that hill. But he was nice. Real nice. But he's gone now. He's gone now.
He's gone now. Pretty close for a 70-degree day, huh?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, but head back to the boat and scout around some more.
A little bumpy, Ted.
Got a little rough, yeah.
Corn muffins,
These are corn muffins?
caramel rolls.
I think those will be mine.
It's 2 for each. Oat burgers, zucchini muffins, buns, garlic butter, minestrone, stew, chili, barbecue deer. That should get us started.
That'll last till
Whoa,
Tuesday? Thursday?
yeah, maybe tomorrow afternoon.
Thanks, Mindy.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate you, and all the viewers appreciate you.
Me and Ted definitely do, because we just been eating like gas station sandwiches for the last 24 hours.
It's a tough decision on what to eat tonight.
Yeah,
I'm thinking maybe some minestrone and then a barbecued deer sandwich.
Big thanks to the Ferendorfs too. Thanks, Sean.
This is so much better than a
Wonderful
tent.
family. This is a big upgrade from the tent. He films this thing in night vision. Hearing grunting? It's wild. Like he's got another extra thing coming off, like 2 or 3 brow tines, a second beam, and then a big fork. Look at that other one back there. That's just nuts. He's just walking bristled up, and that other one's moving off. These days right in here, every year, it's just like nuts. That's such good hunts, you know, around the 27th, 28th through the 1st. It's just huge. What is he chasing, another buck or chasing?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Ted just says this is the most insane thing ever. We're back at deer camp here in Missouri, waiting for Brian from Hushin to show up. And we're looking through some of Zach's footage that him and Ted filmed the other day in one of our really good spots up in Iowa, and we just got a call a little bit ago from Zach. As soon as we leave, Zach goes and maybe shoots one.
Like, he was almost out of my shooting lane, and I shot him, and he was just gone.
All right, just keep us updated.
Hey, guys, you better believe it, you know.
Yeah. After we're done showing you guys the Missouri Public Land Series, Zach has had some unbelievable hunts from up in Iowa the last few days. So that's going to be on probably next week. We'll finish out this week with whatever happens on our Missouri trip. Hopefully Ted can zing one here in the next day or two. And then, yeah, we'll have a bunch of videos from these hunts that Zach's had up in Iowa next week. You're not going to believe what happens. What do you got?
Those Merrills eat.
Oh yeah.
Insert the clip of Aaron falling down the bank 8 times wearing those.
How's it going, dude?
Pretty good.
The left-handed shake.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Jake, Brian, how are you? Ted, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Pleasure. This is the hunting public, guys. We're in Missouri, in the middle of nowhere. Missouri Public Land Whitetail Killers. That's this crew right here.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out about that this week.
Well, I know one thing. I'm going to learn a heck of a lot about a different way to chase whitetails based on what we just experienced in Kansas, and that's what I'm most excited about. Plus, get to know all you guys. So, join us. We'll give you a little tour of the house.
Yeah. Tomorrow and Thursday are going to be the days.
Yeah.
It's cooled down a lot since we just got here.
It's
Now,
already,
Yeah.
it's already coming out more out of the west now than it was. Like it was kind of humid this evening, this afternoon, high about 70.
Oh, wow.
And then it rained. Halloween, I mean, me saying this is going to completely jinx us. But
It didn't last year.
no.
Halloween, you said earlier, is the
Halloween,
day that you like.
and like Halloween's good for everybody everywhere, but for whatever reason, in Missouri, like my entire life,
Really?
somebody's killed one on Halloween.
That's cool.
Like, or multiple people have killed one, and I think every time that I've hunted on Halloween in Missouri, I've seen a mature buck. So hopefully we can keep that going. But me and Ted spent most of the day scouting. We went out this morning, hunted a little bit, but it was warm and we didn't really want to get too wild and crazy.
Yeah.
So we just spent 7 or 8 hours today boating around and scouting different areas that I've either hunted in the past or known about, you know. And we found a ton of sign.
That's cool.
There's a lot of bucks this time, I think.
I'm a whitetail novice, so don't expect much. What do you guys classify as like a shooter? Like, what do you look for? More age
Everywhere
or
just
size?
depends.
Or?
Like down,
It's different up there, definitely, than
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Like anything with 4 points pretty much here is, I mean,
yeah.
speaking for you.
We're
I
in
guess.
a county where we got a 4-point restriction on one side, so he's got to have at least 4. You know, he can be an 8-pointer with a side broken and he's legal, but he's got to have 4 on one side. And if you get on a short hunt, archery hunt in Missouri, public land, if you get a crack at a 2 or 3 year old buck that meets that requirement, you might ought to, you know, if it's a real good in the kill hole shot, you might ought to think about taking it. There's definitely bigger bucks around and older bucks as far as antler size and age class. You know, if I was only going to have 3 or 4 days to hunt this area, these would be the days. I mean, it was hot today, and me and Ted were just cruising around on the boat scouting and ran into a nice buck with a doe.
Yeah.
We almost killed him. I mean,
That would have been awesome,
stalked
right?
up on him. He heard us walking through the brush and went to circle downwind of the sound and got our wind before Ted could get a shot. But we're going to go for a boat ride in the morning, though.
Awesome.
Probably gonna be chilly.
Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be good tomorrow, I think.
Well, I left my house to go to Kansas, then come to here, and then to finish up in Colorado on a rifle hunt. So I've got like the entire kitchen sink, rifle, everything I own pretty much is here. So don't laugh when I just unload every bag I have
No, we got room.
into the house, just so I can reorganize like what's what.
We got room.
This is my poverty rattling antlers that I had to
Nice.
tape up because I kept banging my thumbs.
Oh, yeah.
But that's all I had, so.
Should I try it right now? See if we can get one to come in. They're probably on their way right now. I like the tape job.
It's very, very basic.
I don't know. You guys for sure all think it's good, eh?
Yeah, man, he's dead.
Roasty toasty.
I'm just a little worried that it's too low. That's the only thing.
No,
Nah,
not with that sound.
wouldn't make that pop.
And just made that noise because it just went
No,
No.
through the
Nope.
cavity.
no. That would be the first time in history.
He also started to drop before the arrow got to him.
And you were shooting uphill.
I guess we'll just let you know and keep you updated.
The stress is a bow.
The stress. The stress is a bow hunter, man.
That's the worst.
So we know there's bucks in there somewhere.
Yep.
And we can always fall back on that spot that we scouted today because it is a really good funnel that's leading into bedding. And it's like there's going to be bucks going through there. One of us very well may sit there. And we go in way early so that we can fine tune all that stuff in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's a complete rodeo.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Times.
Yeah. But sometimes we climb up in a tree and kill one out of it.
Yeah.
I
Man.
killed my biggest, well, I guess the highest scoring buck that I've ever shot doing that. Just going in completely blind. Just picking a spot on the map that looked right as far as the type of terrain in which one would want to bed in, and slid in there and got in, you know, got set up an hour before daylight.
Nice.
Got plenty of extra time on a windy morning, very similar to what we're going to have tomorrow. So that's definitely not something.
Go.
You
Don't be
better
embarrassed.
show what you got going on there.
That's
your belt.
Cody Kelp special. Cody with Born and Raised Outdoors is a big fan of the road belt.
Several good crossing scrapes, rubs, where bucks are going from this block to this block. And I'm anticipating the same thing to be occurring right here on this other ditch to the east.
Yeah.
Except this is an even shallower ditch with more bedding cover in it. So with a northerly wind, we're blowing the wind right back down the way that we're coming in on both.
Yeah.
And any bucks that are coming in from up this direction are going to come through that little pinch in the morning. You know, lots of cedars with mixed hardwoods in and around there, and then CRP on top, and tall switchgrass fields. Then we'll go one here, drop off, and go up in there. And if we get in there and we don't like what we're seeing, we'll come back out and we'll either post up observation on the top of this hill, or we can see clear across that field and call to something, or we'll go straight up to that little road funnel in between those two fields. You know, where they've got water there, they have to come down in there. But more times than not, they're going to come to the, just like an elk, they're going to come to that point where they can see the sound.
Sure.
Or they should be able to, and they're going to get nervous if they don't see it. With that said, we always bring calls. And it does definitely work.